If you're looking for signs of success in the Portland metro area, look no further than Portland's neighbor to the west, Beaverton. U-Haul recently ranked Oregon the number 11 growth state, moving up 23 spots from 2024 and bucking the trend from previous years. But it didn't come from people moving to PDX. Beaverton leads the way, as well as cities like Tigard, Happy Valley, and Bend. So what's happening in Beaverton? Population about 100,000 that's keeping people living and working there. Beaverton Mayor Lacey Beaty joins Eye on Northwest Politics. Elected mayor in 2020, the Army combat veteran is Beaverton's youngest and first ever female mayor. Thanks for being here.
Of course, thanks for having me.
You're presenting the State of the City address in early March. And you're going to be talking about some of the things that Beaverton has done over the past couple of years. What's Beaverton doing that's working?
I think when people ask me that, they think it's like a secret. And what I would tell you is it's hard work and planning. We wanted more restaurants. We wrote a restaurant strategy. We wanted a performing arts center, and we worked on it for a decade. It is a public-private partnership, and it took a long time. And Beaverton is responsive to the community. It's clean, it's safe. We're addressing issues head on. And, you know, I'm raising my daughters there. I work every day not knowing what the future holds for them, but this is their hometown, and I want them to be proud of it.
You got some major employers in Beaverton, from Nike to Columbia Sportswear to Reese's Fine Foods. Talk about the impact of those businesses on what you've been able to do in Beaverton.
You know, they're our greatest partners. They work with us to make sure that we can do things and accomplish things. I mean, the Patricia Reeser Center for the Arts is named after Pat Reeser because it was really her vision, and she gave the city an incredible gift to get our fundraising rolling. Nike partnered with the city during COVID to do one of the largest public-private vaccine sites in Oregon and the entire country. And when we ask, they do it. And their employees live in our city. There are like residents. And so we pay a lot of attention to the business climate, not just our big businesses, but our mom and pop businesses too, because that's the lifeblood of our community. And those secondary, you know, we went and talked to big restaurant or big business about what they wanted to see, which was restaurants and amenities and places for their employees to go. I live in Beaverton. I come to Portland on occasion, but I love Beaverton, and I love being able to go to a restaurant 5 minutes from where I live.
You talked about this. You're delivering your speech at the Patricia Reeser Center for the Performing Arts, which opened in 2022. What has the Reeser done for Beaverton, and especially the area around the Reeser, the Round?
It's really been the cultural hub of Washington County. You know, before, if you wanted to see a play, you had to come into Portland. Our 550-person theater is amazing. It's beautiful. We're attracting really great artists into our space. And it's a place where you can take your young kids. We just took our kids to go see the Nutcracker for the first time there and created this amazing family experience that they're going to remember for a long time. It's close to City Hall, and it's really given a boost to the restaurants around it. And
you talked about Patricia Reeser, who have had the opportunity to interview a number of times over the years. Incredible woman, and I think it was she wrote a check for $13 million to get that whole thing started.
She did, and she did 1/3 of the building. The city raised the 1/3 of it through private donors, and our transient lodging tax pays for the other third and the ongoing operations. So people that visit Beaverton, on your hotel bill, you're paying a line item, and that is supporting the Patricia Reeser Center for the Arts. So the better our ecosystem does, the better everyone does.
Does Beaverton have a homeless problem?
We have a homeless problem just like everyone else, but I would say that the way that we've addressed it has made it so, and we've led with dignity. We have a year-round shelter. We're the first in Washington County to open it, 60 beds. We have an incredible track record moving people from sheltering into permanent housing. We have a bike team, 4 officers that are dedicated to downtown Beaverton that address people with humanity and where they are, and we have very low on-street homelessness in Beaverton.
Portland's office vacancy rate is about 27% right now. Beaverton a little over 16%. So what does that say to you?
It says that people, and ours is actually 8%. 15 is the national average. So we're way below the national average when it comes to office vacancy because people know that they're safe. We just opened a second Dos Hermanos opened a restaurant in Beaverton, their second location. And when I was talking with the owner and walking in, he said, how refreshing is it to walk from my car to the restaurant and feel safe in this community? That's why businesses are locating in Beaverton, not just the economic climate, but the safety, the feeling, the concierge level service that the city does to help people get where they are. And we are focused and dedicated on the experience of people locating in Beaverton.
What's the situation with permits and fees in Beaverton, especially relative to the cities that surround you?
You know, I think if you're a developer, any city can't go fast enough. I would like to say that we move pretty quickly on projects that are really important. And when there is maybe a conflict between staff and developers, electeds are quick to get involved. We want housing. The governor wants housing. We want businesses open. It's in our best interest to move as fast as possible. But we also have a responsibility to the community to make sure that it's safe, it meets our codes, and it meets our standards. So I think we found a happy medium between both.
Beaverton is a sanctuary city. We've seen an increase in ICE enforcement nationwide. We've also seen a number of protests in Beaverton, including from school kids who are in the area, as well as other cities in Washington County. So what is Beaverton's experience with immigration enforcement, and what's been your response?
You know, Washington County, between Beaverton and Hillsborough, have been the epicenter of arrests. We've had more arrests happening in our county than Multnomah County or Clackamas County. It is deplorable what is happening on the streets. Beaverton was the first sanctuary city in the state when Trump was in office the first time. We continue to live those values. Beaverton is an incredibly diverse city. I do not want ICE operating on the streets of Beaverton under the guise that it's safety. They are making our streets unsafe. They are not bringing calm, they're bringing chaos into how they operate. Just like we didn't want National Guard on the streets of Portland and Beaverton, we want to make sure that public safety is addressed at the local level. We have done a lot of work to build trust between our community and the police department since the murder of George Floyd. This erodes the trust that we're building together.
So what are you doing concretely in order to deal with what's happening?
So we host, the job of the mayor is really the convener. So I worked with ACLU and PERC and 8 other cities, to include Portland, to have bystander training, to have anti-authoritarianism training, and every mayor co-hosted in their own city the same type of training. The mayors meet regularly to talk about our defense and how we're doing it. And the one thing that we're talking about right now is our ability to collectively sue together. Cities are not in a space where we are able or have the skill in-house to sue the federal government. But when cities sue, we win. It's still our #1 tool in the toolbox. The city council we have worked together to create an outline. So me, the city manager, and the city attorney can enter Beaverton into lawsuits quickly. We can sign on to amicus briefs, which is what happened in LA, which ultimately led to troops not on the ground in downtown Portland. And we, as a mayor, as an American, as a patriot, making sure that our constitutional values are being met, we do that through suing the government. And when we sue, we win. So that's a big focus on what we're doing. We're codifying sanctuary city status into code. While on one hand, it doesn't make the community immediately safer, it definitely signals our ability to defend ourselves in the future. And with the news of President Trump last week saying that he is going to withhold funds from sanctuary cities and sanctuary states, we're working closely with the Attorney General, who we all have a vested interest in making sure that Oregon is not cut off from the funds that we contribute to the federal government.
How significant are those funds for the city of Beaverton?
Pretty significant. So when Trump was elected the first time, we had about $1.2 million of federal money coming into the city. We have WIFIA water loans that are around $40 million. It's money that we've borrowed against to build our infrastructure. We get funding for a plethora of things. So it would be significantly damaging to our bottom line to have that money withheld. But we are not going to do it laying down. We're going to fight for our residents, for our members of our community, and we're not going to allow a federal government to come in and just take money back because they disagree with the local leadership. Because after all, local control is a Republican value.
Beaverton Mayor Lacey Beaty, thank you very much for being on Eye on Northwest Politics.
Awesome.
Appreciate it.
Thank you for having me.
We'll be right back.